everyone. Welcome back to the News Project Live. I'm Andrew McKeever, the news director here at GNAT-TV's News Project. It's a pleasure to have you with us today. It's Friday, June 5th, and we are on Facebook Live, News Project Live, and want to just give you a brief summary, as we've been doing the last few weeks, of some of the major news stories that have been out there that you might be interested in hearing about. We're going to start off today in Montpelier, where the governor's
channel 1 mic check 1 2 3 4 5.
Where the governor's press conference just ended. Hang on one second here. Let me clear that away. It's actually still going on. A couple of interesting announcements that came out of the press conference today that will be of interest locally. The areas where infection rates are low across 55 counties in the New York and New England area, they're defining low by 400 cases per million people. In other words, about 4 people per 10,000 if they have a caseload of that size. You can drive in your own car from one of those 55 counties to Vermont. That doesn't apply to travel by airplane, but you can drive and you won't have to spend 14 days in a quarantine. So that's really big news for the tourism industry in Vermont, and much to look forward to. Also, and I'm going to just sort of paraphrase here from a report that was posted recently, or just a few minutes ago, on Vermont Digger, effective June 8th, which is when those travel restrictions are going to be eased off. Inns, hotels, and other lodging can book 50% of their rooms or guests, or have 25 guests and staff on the property, whichever is larger. That's an increase over what they had before. Long-term guests, such as essential workers, may exceed that occupancy threshold, and the limits don't apply to standalone cabins, cottages, and short-term rentals. On the restaurant side, indoor dining is also going to be allowed, but limited to 25% of the fire code limits. That works out to be about 1 person for 200 square feet, but there's a limit of 10 customers and staff, whichever is greater. So that's one more little sort of turn of the spigot there. There's also some new information out about summer camps and limited residential summer college programming. Overnight summer camp programs may operate at 75% of their bed capacity, and overnight summer camps and limited residential summer college programs may operate in groups of greater than 25 people, as long as physical distancing occurs between individuals. There's also some changes on the days you have to spend in a quarantine if you're doing a camp. And probably the easiest way for you to learn about those is just to go to the Agency of Commerce and Community Development website. It's at accd.vt.gov, and you can find out more information there. There's still urgent caution on the families and campers that you want to wear face coverings, and only one parent should drop off a summer camper. But again, that information is given to you in more detail on the agency's website. So that's the main thing there. The travel restrictions a little bit eased off. Lodging can now accept up to 50%. Restaurants can have indoor dining of up to 25%. Important note though, no bars. If you're thinking that, I can go back to the bar now, bars are still not allowed to be functioning yet. Okay, turning to the local scene here, I guess the biggest piece of news, or most interesting one, came out this week in our area, was from Manchester. The select board there on Tuesday evening put in place a resolution that, as they put it, shall require both staff and customers or visitors to wear cloth face coverings or face shields over their noses or mouths while inside a business. So if you do go shopping somewhere in town, you will be asked to put on a mask if you aren't already wearing one. Over at the rec park, there was an interesting discussion during that select board meeting there last Tuesday night. It's not definite yet, but it looks pretty likely that the municipal pool is probably not going to be open this year because of concerns about safety concerns from COVID. That is not, as I said, not a final decision yet, but it probably doesn't look great. They are still going to be reviewing that, but and we may know a definite word fairly soon. On the camps and summer programs that the rec park runs, they are being reviewed. They hope to open those camps by July 1st, if they can do it. But they're being very, they want to be sure they can do it safely and do it right. And keeping social distancing among campers can be a bit of a challenge, as you all can imagine. So they're reevaluating that week to week and haven't really made a final decision yet on that. Let's see here. Oh, yes, graduations. Burton Academy will be holding its formal commencement ceremony this afternoon at 5:30 up at the Bromley Mountain parking area. They handed out diplomas over the course of this week individually and in small groups of graduates. Today's event at 5:30 will feature speeches and presentations of awards and reading of the names of all the graduates, all the familiar events that take place at a graduation ceremony. Everyone will stay in their cars. It'll be different for sure, but it'll also be live streamed on GNAT-TV's website, so you'll be able to catch it there if you're not able to get up in person. In Arlington, their graduation is going to be held next Saturday, the 13th. It'll start at 11 o'clock. Last we heard, it'll probably be at the high school itself, but we'll tell you more if there's more information to be had. Pop-up test sites, just to return to the COVID matter real briefly. There is going to be a pop-up test site on June 8th in Bennington. However, it is fully booked, according to the Department of Health's website. There's also going to be two others, one in Rutland and Brattleboro on June 10th. Both of those are also fully booked. So if you want to get a test, your best shot is to get on the waiting list and see if there's a spot that would come up for you. Testing is becoming more available, and those tests, by the way, are free. But as we can see, there's still a lot of demand out there for those tests. So I guess keep on going to the Department of Websites, the health department's website, and sooner or later, I'm sure one will come along. One last note: there is going to be a demonstration in Manchester tomorrow, Saturday, June 6th, in commemoration of the death of George Floyd, the gentleman who was killed in Minneapolis last week. It will be from 10 to 12 noon. People are going to be lined up along the street from, they say on the flyer, from the Equinox Resort to the library. Traffic will not be blocked. So if your travel plans call for you to be driving through town around that time, you shouldn't, get stuck in traffic. But it will be occurring for those 2 hours tomorrow morning. And well, that's about it for today, I guess. Just one final program note. Those of you who may have wondered where your GNAT channel is gone, from its usual channel 15, channel 16, channel 17 spot, we've now moved up the dial a little bit. 1074, 1084, 1094 is where you can find our programs on the television. You can also, of course, find our content and news segments on GNAT's website at gnat-tv.org. And you can also follow us on our social media as well, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Well, that's about it for today. Thank you very much for being with us. Hope you're all looking forward to a great weekend, and we'll see you again next Friday. Have a good day.